Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Bloodborne Kita Edition. Yeah. Alright guys, so a couple quick things before we get started. I equipped my better runes, my better version of the moon rune, and I bought some blood vials off camera because I was like, I don't need to show that, it's easy enough, you get the idea. So I figured I'd go ahead and do that, but let's go ahead and jump right back into this Mensis nightmare. That dog kind of just seemed like he appeared out of nowhere. Dog, bird, dog. Oh, PvP already. What do you know? So I have no idea how much of this PvP is going to happen, but that's okay with me. Are you going to be in here? Because that's where the other guy was. No? Okay. Danny Powder Keg. I wonder if he's a member of the Powder Kegs. Must be. Oh, there we go. Up here? No? Yes? Okay. Oh, there we go. Wow, what an ass. Okay. Seems like there's a bit of lag, if you ask me. Whoa, there's a lot of lag. Not just a little lag, there's a lot of that lag. Okay, then. I don't really know how to react to this, but, I guess, just go then. Oh, you can parry someone who's healing, by the way. Not that I can really tell what the hell is going on right now. Oh, he got a nice parry there, I guess. Well, let's take him out before he can heal, I guess. I think. No, not gonna work. What is going on? What is happening? I have no idea. He's gonna try to heal, though, I'm imagining. Oh, I couldn't parry because I have no idea how to read it right now. That was a fantastic battle. Well, we now know that if I can win battles, it's when there's a huge amount of ridiculous lag. Lag master. P may be the parry master, but you can call me the lag master, because that's when apparently I beat people. That was a terrible battle. That's the worst lag I've actually ever experienced in Bloodborne PvP. Oh, and now I got those blood echoes for killing him. That's how bad the lag is. Alright, so this is going to be a shortcut that's going to take us all the way down to the bottom. Before I go to that, I want to show that there's another elevator here we'll eventually be able to activate. So we're going to go ahead and take that elevator, though. So this is the way we're supposed to go, is right up that path. But we're going to take this elevator, as I would like to show this off. Alright, bell ringing woman. Hopefully next time you'll ring someone a little bit better. Something you'll notice, though, is that... Oh, shit. I always do this. And by always, I mean I've done it once before. Well, it would have been a great shortcut. Would have been. Alright, this time I will go ahead and take the elevator all the way down before I go for what I wanted to show. And the reason... What I'm trying to show is that this elevator door doesn't close. And that's what I was trying to have, or utilize, I should say. So where this is going to take me down to is actually, if you guys remember the other elevator we took, which takes us down to the bottom of Mergo's Loft to the base. This is actually going to be a shortcut so you can take the Mergo's Loft base to get all the way to the top. So then you can use both elevators. However, I actually find it slower. I'd say just use the Mergo's Loft middle. That would be what I'd say to do. But the other thing is, and what you saw me rolling to, was this right here, which is really, in my opinion, what that elevator is actually for, is to take this. So, before we go across here, this area is going to be quite a pain in the ass for a couple of reasons. So we're going to want to equip some sedatives. Those are going to be pretty important here. Where are my sedatives? There we go. And I believe I still have my shield equipped. I'm going to try and utilize that. You may have an idea of what we're going to encounter now if you haven't seen it before, based off of what I just equipped. So... See this path right here? That's the middle bridge area, and you can already see from just like looking through here what I'm going to be encountering, which are those brain frenzy guys, and why I've chosen my choice outfit, my sedatives and whatnot. Let's go ahead and get those ready. In there, I don't know if we found an inflicted organs. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. If not, we haven't. Special material used in a holy chalice ritual. Special body parts collected by the healing church. What was this gruesome bait used to lure? The additional rite, rotted offering, beckons ungodly forces, normally terrifying things, but also worthy prey for a special hunt. So the healing church utilized this, so again showing that what we've kind of seen, which is that the Healing Church, as we found with Bergenworth, actually looks into these things. Okay, that doesn't work. So whoever said that the shield worked for Frenzy was not correct. Does not work at all. Just saying, I tried. See, now I'm going to be fine because I'm behind what I'm behind. Alright. I know I'm going to get hit. I know I'm going to get hit. I know. I know. Yes, I have my sedatives ready to go, but I just decided it was better just to take that guy out. Wow, I'm really disappointed. I thought the shield would actually work to protect against Frenzy, because that's what people have been saying, but apparently not. Yeah, this area is super creepy. You see all these skull people statues. Oh, this one seems to have an arm. Or maybe it's just a tree branch. I guess it's just a tree branch sticking through. I'm kind of just trying to look through and make sure there's no items that I miss. Alright, well, here's one. Some kin cold blood. I don't see anything over there. Alright. So here we get a fork in the road. Honestly, my recommendation would be just to run through. But we're not going to do that. Even though it's my recommendation. Because you can just run through, use sedatives. Probably the smartest thing to do, but Kita ain't smart. You know he's got no intelligence. No arcane on this guy. Yeah, you try it. You try it. I see you. I see you. It's not gonna work. Ugh. Their singing just is the worst thing. Oh, okay. Okay. Pop a sedative. Oh, no, come on. Oh, I popped the sedative and it's too late. Well, at least you get to see his little mouths, I guess. These things are the worst. You know what I really should have equipped as runes, now that I think about it, was Frenzy Resist stuff. Actually, speaking of which, I should probably equip more Frenzy Resistant related items. Let's see, Beak's got a lot of Frenzy Resistance. What else have I got? Oh, that's gonna get some nice Frenzy Resist of 49. Yeah, all this stuff would really help. Screw my Fashion Souls that you guys don't even like anyways. We're going with some Frenzy Resist. Alright, here we go. Yep. Oh, no, 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 no. Did not mean for that one to happen. Let's drop a sedative before it's too late. Yeah, that actually worked out pretty well. My Frenzy Resistance is so much higher. Alright. Oh, this thing. This thing! Actually worked out okay for now. For now. I guess such like a random type of clothing on. The Grave Guard Robe. Hunter Glove. Well, at least my trousers match, I suppose. Alright, let's keep on raising this up. Anything better? Anything better? No, actually the Hunter one's the best. Yeah, I imagine that the reason that Eileen's Crow Mask has the best Frenzy Resistance is probably because there's that incense that's tipped on the nose there that describes it as having. I imagine that would be the lore reasoning for it. Or maybe, you know, she just don't go crazy. She's good about keeping her wits. Yeah, I see. Uh-oh. Wow, that was actually pretty lucky. Okay. I'm stuck. Get away. Get away. I hate these things. I mean, part of it's probably just that I'm not very good at fighting them. Part of it's just that they are the worst things in the world. I think it's a good mix of both. Nope. Ain't got time for none of that. Ain't got time. Pop a sedative before it's too late. Oh, Curse Tampering, Blood Gem. Yeah, it's that other guy over there, by the way, who's affecting me. Where are my Blood Echoes? Great. I'm going to get hit by it, aren't I? Alright. You want a piece of this? You want a piece of Kita? Well, first I want my Blood Echoes, por favor. Sorry. You have a piece of Kita in a moment. Where are my Blood Echoes at? Did I pick them up? I mean, I've got a lot on me right now. 54,000. I don't think I picked them up, though. Unless I'm wrong. Alright. This jerk. Look at that. I'm not even getting hit by it anymore. It's still flying up. Frenzy is such an annoying effect. I should have really just taken this guy out. Alright, let's eat some more sedatives. And then we'll take him out. Yep, I know what you're doing. I know what you're trying to do. Ain't gonna happen. Oh! Oh, that health! Oh my god, that was close. Let's pick up some Quicksilver bullets. We got Tampering Damp Blood Gem for our troubles, which is actually, if I'm not mistaken, a really good blood gem. So that's what you can get there if you actually do deal with these guys. I mean, you could just try to run through and grab them, and just be like, screw it, I'm gonna get frenzied, and I'll just heal myself up. It's in the completely wrong spot. Tampering Damp Blood Gem is this one. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty, gosh dang good. Physical attack up plus 18%. We're definitely gonna want to equip that one. It's actually got more than the Cursed Tampering Blood Gemstone, so yeah. Alright, I'm gonna look around for my Blood Echoes, so I'll go ahead and just kind of like fast track it for a moment. All right, actually, I think I realized that one of those eyeball guys must have had it. Something I want to talk about too with the eyeball guys is a lot of people are pointing out that they have a set similar to the doll, what the doll's wearing, and that seems to be something that people are finding, and people are sharing with me and showing me. I don't know if I think of that's an actual. I think it's more of a coincidence, I suppose. Because, I don't know, it doesn't seem very rock solid to me when I look at it. Also, we see these spider guys here. More spiders that have heads. They also have those pendants that we saw Pasha's the spider wearing. So, kind of wanted to point that out. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily honestly think that they're connected to the doll. And that's just my opinion. I know some people are going to really think that they are, based off of that one image that's kind of going around. I don't know who came up with that image, honestly. Otherwise, I'd credit them. And I mean, they could be absolutely right. Maybe I'm missing something here. There are some similarities in the garb between the doll and those brain guys, but I don't know. I think it's a bit of a stretch, to be honest. Alright, let me just double check and make sure there's no... Other than eyeball things all over the place, I don't think there's anything else in this room. Yeah, I think I only have one sedative left. Well done, me. Well done. Way to waste all of your sedatives. Okay. Notes. That's okay. I don't need those notes. Notes! I don't need them. Alright, so... what we have here is a switch, and if we actually look here, there is the brain eyeball thing that's actually been what's causing us to get that frenzy from really far away. That's our Eye of Sauron right there. And this path right here, that bridge, is what we could have taken if we used that key right away. But we would have had to deal with this thing frenzying us like mad if we walked up to it. Now, you can't get onto there and drop down beneath it with it still being there and while it's trying to frenzy you. And I actually got some nice shots for my lore stuff by doing that. So I want to point out that it's actually possible, but if you're actually like playing without the reason of trying to get shots, there's really no reason to do that. So we're going to go ahead and operate the switch. Now that feels good. If you've been dealing with this area, that feels really good to get rid of that stupid eyeball brain. Brains on the inside, man. They had to listen to Willem a little bit too much. There's just eyeballs everywhere. Eyes on the inside, even in your brain. So we're going to find out more about that brain too as we get a little bit further along. But first, we're going to deal with this area, which can also be kind of a pain. It's interestingly, these spiders up here don't have the faces. I don't know why some do and some don't, but these ones don't. You'll notice why I'm hiding right now is because there's another one of those eyeball brain things over there, so yeah, that would be why. I don't think they come across the platform. Yep, I hear you're singing. It's absolutely beautiful. You should join the choir. Maybe you are part of the choir. I don't know. Hey! Get back. Why'd you come over here? I was waiting for you to walk over and away. Is it actually gonna... No, it's not gonna cross. You're not gonna cross. La 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 yourself. You know what? I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna come over to you this direction. Deal with that. How about? Alright. Now I will deal with it now that I don't have to be on those platforms and rafters. It's called being smart. Yep. See, you just can't resist. You're running towards me even when it's not smart. Oh, that was actually pretty close. Yeah, I figured I'd get frenzied, but as long as you survive it, it's okay. Curse Tampering Damp Blood Gem of level 5, so you get some cursed ones from these guys, which... That one's also really high physical attack up. You can see 19.8 compared to this 18%, but then it's going to drop your attack versus kin down 9.3%. So kin are those kin of the great ones. So it really just depends on what you're fighting for that specific thing as to if you think it's worth it or not to equip that one. We get the choir bell here, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. That's actually going to be an arcane attack. Invigorates all cooperating parties, healing them. Special hunter tool of the choir, high-ranking members of the church, fashioned after a bell that projects an arcane sound across planes of existence. The sound of this smaller silver version of the bell does not cross planes, but grants vigor and healing to all cooperators. So interesting that we find some choir stuff here when this is actually a School of Mensis dream that we're in right now, or Mensis Nightmare, I should say. And also, I found out from the guide, which I actually finally got in, which I'm pretty excited about. From the guide, it turns out that the... Actually, kind of like the hunter's gloves right now. Turns out that the hunter who was down below, who we fought on the bridge here in the School of Mensis, is actually associated with the choir, if I'm not mistaken. I think its name of that hunter in the guy was choir something, which I'll have to look up. But interesting, we're finding some choir-related things here. Also, this area that we're in it right now is actually, I think this is where... I was gonna say I thought it was... I don't think it's... Maybe... Is it where the spider is? It seems like it's where the spider is. Yeah, I think this is where the spiders were. Because it is. So yeah, we're right above where the spiders were. Don't want to drop down there, though. Don't want to do that. I checked for illusory walls and all that stuff in my game, like even along this spot. There's something I was very sure to check for. There's nothing. Because, you know, those of you who watch my King's Field Let's Plays know that I got a PhD in wall checking. That's kind of my thing and what I do. And we come across to this bridge. So this is actually where the eyeball was hanging out. Literally hanging was right here in this spot that we dropped it down from. We find tons and tons of bones. Arcane Damp Blood Gem, which I actually want to take a look at. Let's go and take a look at it. So that's going to be another positive one. So arcane attack up plus 18%, but no negative effects. But lots of great one wisdoms here. Lots of dead skulls. Because when you're by this frenzy-causing brain, that just seems to be what happens. You can see a lot of the dead people here just have all those spikes stuck into them that we were getting from the brain. So yeah, just all over here. So hey, if you want some insight, you're going to get a lot of it over here in this area. So, for some of you know what I'm missing right now, and don't worry, I'll be getting in a moment. Wow, it almost looks like an elevator that you could use over there. That'd be cool if it was a little, like, Easter egg to get down there. I'm almost, like, tempted to break the game and try to jump over that. Actually, they never showed the glitch. I don't know if they patched it or not, but there was a leap glitch. Vadi has it in one of his videos, where he kind of shows and talks about it, I think. Personally, I'm a huge fan of it. Alright, Damp Blood Tinge Gem. So this would actually help me to equip this one right here. Wait, where's the damp one? Blood attack up plus 21.6%. So that's one that you would definitely want to equip on your Shikage if you've been, you know, using the Shikage here. Also, I forgot to show jumping R2 attack. So there you go. That's the jumping R2 attack. Alright, and where this is going to lead to is this is where the... This is what the iron door key opens up, and this is where Mikolash's boss fight was. So, if you remember last time when I ran up here, here's the bridge that's now gone. That's the bridge that raised up. But I fought Mikolash by running into here, and then I turned immediately to the left, and there's an area that I couldn't access during the fight, and that's this area right here. And the iron door key opens this up. I'll probably just get murdered by the brain eye, and it wouldn't really matter that much. And then there's a dead end over this way anyways. So, yeah. But one thing you can get right away, though, before traveling the way that I did travel, is... Hold on, it looks like there's an item over there. Nope, it's just lighting. Is that if you go over to where the eyeball is hanging out over here, you'll actually notice that there's a platform going around and circling here, so that's what we're going to want to take, and there's an item down there. So you're going to want to go get that. Kind of a big deal over here on this dead guy who is wearing... What type of set are you wearing? I can't tell, but you have creepy eyes. Look at those eyes. Those are creepy. I never noticed that before. Anyways, this guy is the Blood Rock. So this is going to be the one Blood Rock in the main game. You can find Blood Rocks in the Chalice Dungeons, but as far as the main game goes without the Chalice Dungeons, this is the only one. So this is... I've typically tell people, like, don't worry about using Blood Rocks, like Twin Bloodstones, Bloodstone Chunks, because you can farm those. As far as I know, and this is only where I have to look into the guide, I don't think you can farm Blood Rocks. I could be mistaken, though. So this is one you actually do want to choose wisely. A large solid chunk that forms in cold blood. After death, a substance in the blood hardens, and that which does not crystallize is called a bloodstone. This is no mere chunk. It is nearly a boulder. Few bloodstones of such size have ever been discovered, even considering the combined experience of all the hunters. So I could be mistaken. Maybe there's someone you can farm it from, but I just don't know of that person. If we fall down there, we are going to die, so we're not going to do that. What we're going to instead do is drop down this path to where we fought the person who is apparently part of the choir. And again, if I was mistaken, I will try to correct myself. And we're going to head in this direction, because now there's a new area that we can go to. I'm fairly positive that this specific spot I'm heading to right now opens up after you defeat Mikolash. Not dropping the brain, because I've gone down here without dropping the brain. I've definitely done it before the brain was there, so I just want to make that clear. Hey, yo. Creepy Mergo guard. It's actually what these guys are called. It's like some sort of guard of Mergo, I think. Dirty Damp Blood Gem. Alright, so there's this new elevator here that wasn't there before, which is what I was trying to find earlier that I couldn't find. I think it's specifically after the fight with Mikolash that it opens up. At least that's when I noticed I could go down it. And I just want to make it clear that dropping the brain wasn't the event that triggered it. It was Mikolash, at least for me. But we're going to go ahead and take this, and it's going to take us down to what seems to be like the abyss in a lot of ways. I was really surprised when I went down here and when I found this, especially because it was before I dropped the brain. I had no idea what this was for, because you really just go down into the abyss, essentially. And for me, there was nothing here, because I hadn't dropped the brain. Actually, I want to equip the torch, because it's kind of cool to check it out with the torch. So you can see that we're actually hanging out down here with the brain in this abyss area, and that's where we dropped it down to. And it's not going to do anything. It's actually docile in this state. It doesn't hurt you at all. Yeah, there's some great shots you can get by doing this. Oh wow, you get shots with the short torch out too? I didn't know that. I'll have to keep that in mind and come back here at some point for even better shots than the ones I got. I like that the eyeballs just follow you around too. Like every eyeball follows you. Well, okay, maybe not all of them. All the big ones follow you, which I think is pretty cool and creepy. Also, if you look up, you'll actually notice that you can clip through. Yeah, so you can actually see the environment, and I think that's kind of funny. So anyways, I think that's kind of funny, and yeah, like you can literally see exactly where the doors opens up and closes and all, or not door, where they're like where they actually programmed in an environment. So yeah, a little bit into how programming works if you look up here, honestly, which is the fact that unless you need to see something, they're not going to program it. That's the point of it. And a lot of programming works, and I don't know if that's still how it works, but at least for first-person shooters, how they used to do it. when they first did it, was it would literally only render out the things that were in your line of sight. So as you're turning, it's making it so more things are rendering out and making it visible. And that's how they make it so you could have higher quality graphics. Nowadays, they might render out a larger portion of an area, and I think that's possibly what they do. I think it's still based on your vision, because you might notice things load in as you run in up towards things. But I think they will just set and load a certain portion at a set amount of time, as opposed to like rendering as you turn. But yeah, anyway, so that's just a little background you can see in terms of how graphics work and all that stuff, which, I don't know, just from a programming perspective, is kind of cool to see. Because the area seems a lot bigger when you're in there, but it ain't, in terms of what they actually created. So yeah, this whole thing is a brain, as you can notice, with the way the back of it works and all that. Lined with eyes. I think a certain Master Willem would be jealous. But enough talking. Let's go ahead and kill this thing for all the trouble that's dealt us. It's not even a fight back. It honestly makes me feel really bad for doing this. I do it for the lore. I do it for the lore. You notice I'm noticing too, someone pointed this out to me and I didn't see it, and now that I'm looking at the brain, I can kind of see what they're saying. It almost looks like this brain is lined with messengers. Like those are almost like messenger bodies all over it. You can kind of see what I'm talking about. Like that's a little head, that's a little head. You can kind of see like the head and the body are what it's comprised of and made up of. I think someone had like pointed that out to me, and I was like, I need to check it out and look at it before I can say I agree with that. And now that I'm looking at it, it actually does look like it's comprised of messengers, so that's very odd. Oh man, as the blood splatters all over the eyeball, it just makes me feel so bad. It's funny because like this thing really is awful. It causes you a lot of trouble, but it's funny how just when it's something so complacent like this, it just makes you feel bad. Even something that looks like this, when the eyes wobble around every time you hit it. Listen, it was circumstance that brought this about. Brain of Mensis. There's the spoiler right there, but that's what this is. This is the brain of Mensis is what this thing is called. So let's take it out. We get some living string from it. Ugh. Ugh. It's almost like killing a boss with how much blood rains on you. Blood rain, like the anime. Alright, so we get living string. Let's go ahead and take a look at the living string. Special material used in a holy chalice ritual. The immense brain that Mensis retrieved from the nightmare was indeed lined with eyes on the inside, but they were of an evil sort, and the brain itself was terribly rotten. But even still, it was a legitimate great one, and left a relic, a living relic at that, which is a precious thing indeed. So something, to me, this is what my interpretation of this is that something about the Mensis ritual, where they were trying to beckon the Great Ones, as we saw that ritual that they were all doing, they did it, but I think that this is, for that Great One that they summoned, was something about the way they summoned it screwed up everyone involved, and still birthed basically everything in all their brains, which is part of why I think all the Mensis people that we're finding are mummified and pretty much, well, mummified and dead in the waking world. And again, this is my interpretation, so I'm open to hearing other interpretations. But the fact that but even still, it was a legitimate Great One that they found here. The immense brain that Mensis retrieved from the nightmare, specifically what they're talking about, so is that brain. And yeah, so, and the fact that it's lined with eyes on the inside is what is confirmation that, hey, Willem seemed to be onto something, but I think it worked and it didn't work. So obviously they were able to summon the Great One. To that extent it worked, but it seemed to really screw up everyone involved. So that's, again, currently my interpretation of it as we start to discover more of this. Alright, so at this point, we can kind of just speed up to the top areas. Probably would be, considering the... Oh my god, I didn't realize the elevator wasn't here. As to say, considering the amount of blood echoes I have, I should probably just go ahead and level up and go ahead and throw on some better blood gems before I move on. So that's what I'm going to do once I get up here. Bye-bye. Goodbye. But one thing I can show off that I showed off briefly earlier... Wait, hold on. This way. So one thing, well, never mind. I was going to show off the fact that the bridge moved upwards that we crossed before, even though it's kind of obvious, but There you go. Bridge moved upwards. You can see that the bridge had moved up. So, yep. I'm going to go ahead and go to a closer lamp. I'll just go ahead and take this one up to the lamp. But yeah, so that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and warp back to the Hunter's Dream. So I'll see you guys there in just a moment. First things first. Let's go ahead and equip us some better blood gems. So let's see what we got here. This one's actually pretty good with the boost rally, but we can do better. Look at that. Physical attack up plus 18. Even better. Yeah, that one I'm not going to do because I don't know if Mergo... Well, I don't know if like some of the upcoming enemies are going to be worse than that. Alright, and what about this one? Can we do anything better other than negative effects? I don't think so. Oh, you know what I just realized? I probably should have actually equipped that one over on this side. Unless, let's see, physical weapon durability down. Yeah, you know what? If I want the most boost, I can equip that to my other slot. So I can actually equip that over here for an even bigger overall boost. So that's what we're going to do. And even though it doesn't mean very much because I'm not using the Shikage too much at the moment since I don't have the scaling that's right for it, let's go ahead and equip that blood tinge scaling. I think I don't know which one's going to be the best slot to put it in. Let's see. Whoa, curse, that one's pretty good. Or is it? Yeah, no wait, attack down 6.7%, maybe not. At the moment, I'll leave it as is, actually, instead of adding that scaling, just because I haven't really been using it too much. Let's go and reach some levels.
Welcome home. What is it?
I'll tell you what I desire. I desire a bunch of levels. Actually, only 2 levels, apparently. Let's go with skill, and let's go with vitality. Vitality. I think that'll do.
Farewell.
And also buy some more blood vials. Might as well. Might as well stock up. Alright, we're back. Nightmare Mensis. And even more powerful. So something you'll notice I did was that I didn't use the blood rock on my saw cleaver. And that's because, surprise, there's still a weapon we have yet to find that I want to make my main weapon. So, for all those of you who've been complaining about how often I've been using this saw cleaver, there is a weapon we have yet to get that I want to be my main. Something you're going to notice here is we're fighting the Shadows of Yharnam, so you might just remember these guys as being former bosses. I also really didn't need to buy as many blood vials as I bought because they do tend to drop blood vials, but I figured I'd be safe and just do it, just so I don't have to worry about it. I know I probably could have used, like, on a level up and all that, but that's okay. Uh-oh. Hey! Whew. Don't like this. This isn't going so well for me. Nope. Blade of Mercy actually would have been good for that, for just quick jumping in attack. Yeah, you'll notice I'm starting to get a huge amount of blood echoes, though, from every enemy I'm fighting, so... Yeah, at this stage in the game, you just start really racking them up. Alright, so we've actually got a couple different options and paths we can take at this area, at this juncture. And I took the wrong one, of course. Let's go ahead and use this. We can get some bloodstone chunks, which are going to be nice. I want to start stockpiling that for the next weapon I want to use. And you hear the baby sound is even louder than before. So now we're really starting to be able to hear the baby sound. We also see more of the pigs, more of the boars. Or just pigs. The porcine. Finally got it right. It only took me 15 episodes to get the term correct. I mean, I've been sticking my hand in their butts so much, you'd think that I'd be closer to them by now, but nope. There's a surprise when you look at them, but don't worry. We'll get to the surprise. I could actually drop down here, and there's actually another way to wrap around. I'm going to go ahead and take that path for now just to show it, because I don't know how many people are doing it and using it. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take this path. From this path right here, you can you can drop down back to where we came from, but this is just an alternate path that I want to show off. If I'm speedrunning this area and kind of just trying to run through as quickly as possible, this is usually what I take because I feel like it's a little bit safer for just running through. Plus, we get 3 more bloodstone chunks and the moon right in our face. A bunch of you were telling me that you didn't think it was a glitch for Canehurst to have, or just not a glitch, but lack of funds for Canehurst to have no blood moon, and you think it might be Annalise's dream. That is possible when you consider the way that we get there and the fact that there seems to be no plausible real way to get there, that it could be a dream, and maybe it is an Annalise's dream or something to that extent. So I think that is a viable theory. I don't know, like, to me it's something I'm not sure. Alright, I took out the bell ringer, that's okay. We've still got another one left anyways, so. There's another one, don't worry. Ah! Holy crap, that did a lot. Okay, that was... Okay, enough. You had enough fun? There we go, I was too early on the first one. Hopefully I'll get those, well, a bit of health back. Just hope I get it all back, but... Suppose it's a bit greedy of me to expect that much. Some more bloodstone chunks. And... I think that's everything that's in this little spot right here. But it's nice. You get some bloodstone chunks, which are nice, and it's just another way around. Actually, I mean, when you include the scamper, got a whole bunch of bloodstone chunks. Reason I came around this way, well, for one thing, you can actually run past these guys. You don't have to fight them. But I'm going to go ahead and draw them out and fight them anyways, because why not? But yeah, you actually don't have to fight these guys. I do want to make that clear. Oops. See if I can get him. Nope. Nope. I didn't get you. Okay. Nope. I see your friend. I'm more worried about your friend than I am of you. There we go. Safe zone. Now you can use that to heal back up. Nope. Not even gonna let you do it. I'm used to fighting you as a boss. Yeah, see, I'm just like getting tons of blood vials from these guys. It's actually the first time in a long time I feel like we've actually been able to reliably get blood vials from enemies. Like at the very beginning, at the very beginning of the game, they're very lenient with giving you blood vials. It's not until about now that they make it so they're lenient again. That was actually a pretty close call. If I'd been a little bit too close to that fire, I would have been knocked down. Alright, so the reason I came this way is because of that porcine coming towards me. Notice how there's actually 2 of them? Yeah, that's why I came this way, is because I didn't want to deal with them, but you'll actually notice that they have eyeballs all over them now. So, yeah, fun with porcine. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and go into the fray. Let's try and sneak past them. Let's get some kin cold blood. A bunch more kin cold blood. And I think that's, nah, there might be more. I don't know. I'm like thinking I should probably get the shortcut before I go fight these things, just in case. Just as a precaution. Let's go and get this shortcut, and I will deal with them. Just 100% it. But we find right here, remember that lady who was looking at the blood moon? You notice now that we can really look up on her look at her that she is bleeding from her womb. We hear a crying baby, and now she is crying as she is looking up to this main area of Mergo's loft. So, we do find out more about who she is in the Chalice Dungeon, but I don't want to reveal too much about her yet. I know a lot of people, especially when you first find her, you're like, what the shit is going on? I don't understand. I feel you. I'm going to use something right now. Yusefka's blood vials, because, surprise, there's another one here in the Nightmare. So, Yusefka's Nightmare, the product of a slow and careful refinement process. The rare blood vial appears to be of clinical origin. What is Yusefka's blood vial doing in the Nightmare Mensis? I think that's a really good question, and one that I honestly don't completely know the answer to myself. So, I could say, though, that with the guide coming out, we can confirm that there is a fake Yusefka, and the one that we meet in the clinic eventually is a fake Yusefka. So, the one that we initially got the Yusefka blood vial from, this is both from Miyazaki's mouth himself and the fact that they got the official names for the guide of the different characters. And that one that you meet is called Fake Yusefka. So, but also Miyazaki's mouth himself has confirmed that it is a fake Yusefka that you meet. So it really does draw to question, like, okay, so A, we can confirm that that kin-looking creature, that celestial emissary-looking creature that we killed, that had Yusefka's blood vial on her, that was indeed the real Yusefka. She has now stood up for us. Okay, I know what you're doing with that. I know what you're on about. But then, really, though, I mean, the big question is, what in the world is they're doing a Yusefka blood vial here? And that is why I was questioning if it really was a fake Yusefka, because it seemed like there's more to the story that I just didn't know. And it still does seem to be the case. But again, I don't know. So, unfortunately, I can't answer that. Oh, now you can get a nice look at these things' eyeball faces, though. Now that we're up close with it. Just what everybody wanted. I know you were screaming and shouting, I want eyeball face pigs. That's what I was wanting. If I had a dream, that's what I would dream of. I know. And fortunately, Bloodborne listens. They heard your I have a dream speech, and they said, we listened to you. Oh, I wasn't sure if I'd get that spin, but it worked. Oh, it worked. Aren't you happy, Pork God? Yes, you are. I can tell. I can tell. Totally enjoyed it. Alright, yeah, Nourishing Damp Blood Gem. I wonder what this one does. Actually, not sure. Nourishing Damp Blood Gem. It's a damp one. It should be down here. Where is it? I don't know. I think I don't. Wait. Here we go. Attack up plus 15%. That one's really good, too. Starting to get some really good blood gems here. And they definitely make a huge difference. Alright, so if you remember, this is kind of by where I dropped off. Right there is that watery area where I dropped off before. So, there you have it. That is the area where I dropped off right there. So, that completes this area of Mergo's Loft. So, I'm going to go ahead and quick cut it yet again, as I'm going to go level up some more. So, why not? Now that we have another shortcut open to us. So, I'll see you guys back at the Hunter's Dream. Alright, so I'm back at Blood Gems. Figured I'd show that this is actually going to be better overall. Even though it doesn't have the rally potential, it has a better overall attack up. So once again, we can raise the attack of our Saw Cleaver. So I'm going to go ahead and equip that Blood Gemstone. And then once again, go for some more level ups.
Very well.
Let's do it. We can reach 2 more level ups. Just like that, we just reached a whole bunch of level ups. And I think I'm happy with that. So happy with that one. Still can't use the cannon, but that's okay. And let's just buy even more blood vials, because that's what I like doing with my excess. Alright, and I'll see you guys back at the Nightmare. Alright, we're back. Back at the Nightmare Mensis. And I cut it back here just so I could show just how quick it is with that new shortcut that I opened up. The elevator is literally right here, so just like that, we are at the top. So just use the Mergo's Lift Middle. That's going to be the quickest route back if you have any trouble in this upcoming area that we're going to. So yeah, we'll talk more about this person in a little bit, who's crying. But what is she crying about? Well, let's go find out. So, gotta go up yet again. Okay, so as we come up, we find even more of these guys who I'm just about positive are the School Mensis members, but these ones are mummified even in this nightmare, which is odd considering the fact that we had Mikolash who was okay. So again, that just leads me to think that because he was the primary one, he was okay, but the rest of them in the process, I think it was just, again, the idea, the stillbirth of their brains that we heard about. I think that's what happened to all of them. So the brains kind of had a whole, stillbirth and fucked up. Whoops. And we find here that baby that's been crying. Why, look, there is a baby carriage. What do you know? So, hey, that person we just found, that ghostly thing, she was, crying, and was this maybe ripped out of her womb, perhaps? And we come to Mergo's Wet Nurse. Oh, whoops. Mergo's Wet Nurse, if you can get behind her, that's definitely, in my opinion, the best way to take her out. Just get behind her. And, whoop. The only thing is sometimes that attack trips me up. Probably should have equipped... Uh-oh. Wow, I'm doing terrible. Man, good start, me. Alright. Here we go. This should allow me to get back there. Yeah, yes. The hard thing with her is when she does this attack. But again, even when she's in this mode, you can get behind her. It's just sometimes she'll summon a double. And that is her difficult portion, is when she decides... Right there. Oh. I died. As opposed to really trying to hurt anyone at this point. It's just kind of be defensive. Oh. Well, that didn't work. Well, that didn't go well either. Yeah, I'm probably gonna cut it out so you don't see exactly how I dealt with her last time, but it was pretty much just like walking behind her, literally, like I just did it right there. Every attack she does, like this one, I'm just walking behind her and being like, yep. It's, actually not that bad, honestly. I just got a little bit sloppy with my dodging, but you can even see like this attack right there, which should be a multi-hit everything attack. Just walk behind her and it's not that big. Whoops. I got honestly, if I'm being honest, I got totally lucky there. I can admit when I get lucky. I can admit it. I don't know why she's being so stupid right now, but okay. Oops. Oh, whoa. Oh my, I don't know how I survived that, but that's cool by me. She was really angry there. She was like, no more of this. No more of this nonsense. I feel bad if I beat her without her having summoned the Dark World. Okay, here we go. Just do it for me. Just do it for me, Mergo, Wet Nurse. Just do it for me so I don't have to feel so bad about myself. Whoops. Oh. Yeah, so this is the area where she's actually difficult. Because you're dealing with all of them and the fact that, see that reach that one has? I think it is good to get behind one of them just for the sake of not having to deal with that crazy reach attack. But yeah, it's like, yeah, it's much more difficult. You could also just go with what I'm kind of doing, which is staying away. So at least you only have to hopefully deal with one of them. Oh. But yeah, when you're in this part, just kind of play it defensive and dodge. Because this nightmare shall end. And you really don't have to be in attack mode at this point. So you see how it just ended there. One of them disappeared, so her illusion ended. We're okay. I don't know where she went, though. Oh, there you are. Oh, that was close. Close one there, Mergo. Close one there. Or not Mergo, excuse me, Wet Nurse of Mergo. I'm like, I can keep on doing that if you want, and just attacking you from the front. But yeah, I actually think she's a pretty easy boss. I know I died a couple times, but I kind of chalk it up to sloppy play, to be honest. So, there you go. That's Mergo's Wet Nurse. So, a wet nurse is someone who isn't the actual mother to a child, for those of you who don't know, and provides the milk for the child. That's why it's called wet nurse. And the big thing that you'll see right there is we just got Nightmare slain. And the baby that was in the carriage just disappeared and got replaced by this. But the Nightmare slain is when the baby goes away. So, couple things here. Okay, so what I was talking about the wet nurse is, so essentially the woman who is milking the child is the wet nurse. If it's not the native mother, it's called a wet nurse. So that is what that was. And essentially is basically this. I imagine that the Mergo's Wet Nurse has to do with the Great One, trying to protect this child. And this child, Mergo, and that's who that was, the baby in the carriage is Mergo, is the child who I believe the School of Mensis was using to try and call forth the Great Ones to offer a child to them because they can't have kids. So let's go ahead and look at that umbilical cord that we just got from Mergo, from the child itself. So We have now a third umbilical cord. And let's see if this is the one. Yeah, this is the one. All right, so Great Relic, also known as the Core of the Eye. Every infant Great One has this precursor to the umbilical cord. Every Great One loses its child and then yearns for a surrogate. So that, I think, is why they're using a child, aka Mergo, to call forth the Great Ones. Mergo was that child we just found that they utilized to call forth the Great One because it's yearning for a child. Mergo wants to use this child. This core granted Mensis audience with Mergo, but resulted in the stillbirth of their brains. Used to gain insight, and so they say eyes on the inside, although no one remembers what they truly entail. So Seiken says that this core granted Mensis. When it says it that way, I think by Mensis they just mean the entire school of Mensis. Audience with Mergo. That means Mergo could be the Great One, but I think Mergo is the child, personally. Also, the fact that it said Nightmare Slain, we also got that, I believe, when we killed Amygdala. So it seems to be when we kill a Great One, we slay the Nightmare. And the other one was Nightmare Frontier. This is the Nightmare Mensis that we're slaying. Really interesting thing that I didn't know about until the guide came out too is that if you remember the Alien Lauren Chalice that we got before, which I'm going to show off here, Lauren is a tragic land that was devoured by the sands. The tragedy that struck this alien land of Lauren is said to have its roots in the Scourge of the Beast. Some have made the dreaded extrapolation that Yharnam might be next, or maybe next. We got that from defeating Amygdala, and I didn't know this until the guide came out, but those beasts that we fight in both the Nightmare Mensis that we're in right now and the Nightmare Frontier are called Loran Silver Beasts. So they're from Loran. So it's interesting that these two areas are somehow now connected to Loran. So that's something I wanted to point out. But let's go ahead and head back to the Hunter's Dream. Now we'd slain this nightmare. Wow, holy shit. So things have changed, huh? So all of a sudden the Hunter's Dream is on fire. At least this part of the workshop, I should say, the Hunter's Workshop portion of it. Yep, that is on fire. So, Doll, what is going on?
Good hunter, you have come. Dawn will soon break. This night and this dream will end. Gammon awaits you at the foot of the great tree.
So dawn is finally coming and the hunt is ending, and all relates to Mergo. Because that is what we did that took care of this, was defeating Mergo and killing the wet nurse, finishing Mergo off. Oh, there's one thing I wanted to do actually, but we'll go back and do it in a moment.
Good hunter, your presence somehow soothes. I sense the ancient echoes. They course your veins.
So that's all she's got for us at the moment.
Very well. Let me...
But let's go ahead and do some leveling. I think another in strength. Yeah. It's all around levels. And there's a couple more things that I want to do. One is we're actually going to go back to the Nightmare Mensis. But yeah, this is just completely on fire. The place that Gehrman has been waiting for you. If you ever really fully explored, this gate was locked and it's now open. You can actually walk around this area without it activating anything. But there's Gehrman over there waiting for you. That's something that we're going to do a little bit later, though. In the next Let's Play, I think. But, yeah, so there's a couple more things I want to do before I go ahead and get to that. So one is going to be going back to Wet Nurse's Lunarium. Alright, so we're back here at the Nightmare Mensis. Hopefully I didn't leave too early, so I don't think I did to show what I wanted to show you guys. So I want to go back to that lady that we saw before. Okay, so yeah, good. So she's here still, and we basically just killed that child who is essentially implied to be hers, and she bows to us and leaves. So she actually seems to be thankful for that. So that is what I want to show you guys. So that's what I want to show you here, and now we're actually going to be heading back to, well, you know what, I'm going to do Central Yharnam next episode. There's a bunch of things for us to do in Central Yharnam now. There's actually a couple things that have changed, a couple quests that I want to finish up. So I'm going to go ahead and head back to the Hunter's Dream and wrap some other things up. Alright, so now that we're back at the Hunter's Dream, you know what I like to do with my extra blood echoes. I actually want to make sure, I don't know if I ever bought the Rosmarius. I didn't. I forgot to look at that. So Rosemary's is another weapon that Rosemarinus, excuse me, is another weapon that we got for having I think it was for having the Cosmic Eye badge, but I could be mistaken in that. And the Rosemarinus is a special weapon used by the choir, high-ranking members of the Healing Church. It sprays a cloud of sacred mist created by using blood-imbued quicksilver bullets as a special medium. Arias are heard wherever sacred mist is seen, proving that the mist is a heavenly blessing. O fair maiden, why is it that you weep? So at some point, I will plan on picking that up and purchasing that. But let's just do blood vials for now, because let's just do it. So before I wrap up this episode, what I'm going to do is next episode, I'm going to go ahead and mostly finish the game. I don't think I'm going to quite entirely finish, but I want to get the final weapon that I really want to get, and you'll see how I'm going to get that. And then there's some side quests for me to finish up. It might be a shorter episode next time because there's not as much to do. And then I'm kind of debating if I want to finish the game or not. And I guess I'll let you guys hear what your thoughts are on it. But I think, I don't know, maybe I will finish the game. But regardless, after next episode, I'm going to start doing Chalice Dungeons. And how I've talked about before, Chalice Dungeons is I'm going to announce the time that I'm going to stream with each one, and I'll go ahead and stream and do it co-op with you guys to get through the Chalice Dungeons, because there's lore in the Chalice Dungeons, there's things that I want to talk about, and I figure it'd be much more fun just to do it with you guys, and that way, you know, maybe you can be in the stream and play with me, and I'll switch, obviously, every boss, I'll switch up, I'll try at least to use the bell to switch up who's with me in the Chalice Dungeons. What the level's going to be, which I've been being asked about, I have no idea. Right now I'm level 78. It really just depends on what level I'm at by the time I start going through. Obviously, as I go through the Chalice Dungeons, I'll be leveling up more and more. In order to co-op in a Chalice Dungeon, you have to have that Chalice already unlocked. And you have to have already performed the Chalice ritual, just so you guys know. But I'll talk more about it next episode, how I'm going to do the Chalice Dungeons. What I'm going to do to wrap up is do the Fashionborn stuff, because I honestly wasn't expecting as many of you to send me Fashionborn stuff as I got. I was kind of like, oh, maybe like 2 or 3 people will send me Fashionborn stuff, and I got, I think, over 20 people, so which is cool. But I'm going to show off different Fashionborn stuff to wrap off this episode that you guys have sent me, and then next episode we'll go ahead and possibly wrap up the game. But we're pretty much near the final frontier of it, and we got a lot of lore stuff to talk about for sure, but especially the fact that the hunt is ending, and that is associated with Mergo and the School of Mensis. That to me is the main plot point of the game. I think the choir is all a side thing, but the main plot point and why the hunt came about this time around is because of the School of Mensis. So I'll see you guys soon with some Fashionborn. Alright, so this one is from Jimmy Martin. Actually, this one looks really cool with the fire in the background, because the fire definitely adds the element of it. But it's the Graveguard hood or Graveguard mask with the Henrique garb, Bone Ash gauntlets, and Bone Ash leggings. I gotta say, actually, the Bone Ash gauntlets and Bone Ash legs really go with the Graveguard hood. It was something I never really realized before, so that's a good catch on that. So from Starlight from the Abyss, this is Gascoigne's hat, Hunter's garb with mantle, charred Hunter gloves, and Hunter's pants. And this one offering a high amount of resistance, which would be a practical one to use for a lot of areas of the game, because it seems like there's definitely more resistance styled, or I should say, physical attack creatures in the game. From Nizier, excuse me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, Tomb Prospector hood, Gascoigne's garb, surgical long gloves, and white church trousers. Bit of black and white. Actually, I'm surprised that the Tomb Prospector hood goes so well with Gascoigne's garb. Actually, I'm noticing that. Alright, so another one from Mike 2011 QWERTY is the top hat, Hunter's garb, capeless, Gascoigne gloves, and Gascoigne trousers, which definitely looks more like a dapper gentleman as opposed to, I don't know, it doesn't look like Crazy Hunter, but it looks like a real person who would be going about doing crazy things, especially with that giant pistol. Let's ignore the saw cleaver, though. And from Solid Knights, a solid attempt at making the Gold Ardeo work. The Gold Ardeo, Henrique's Hunter garb, Yarnum Hunter gloves, and black church trousers. Obviously, the yellow of the Henrique's Hunter garb matching that Gold Ardeo, so finding a way to make that match. And from Christian Harden, the Canehurst helmet, Executioner's garb, Bone Ash gauntlets, and Bone Ash leggings. It is funny to me just how much the Canehurst helmet actually matches the Executioner's garb. I know actually Epic Name Bro, if you guys watch his playthroughs, has talked about how that he's noticed that as well. I gotta say, actually, the Bone Ash gauntlets go well with this too. Maybe that speaks a little bit to those two factions. Alright, so from Killer Killed Again, White Church Hat, Charred Hunter Garb, Bone Ash Gauntlet, and Bone Ash Leggings. I'm noticing that people like using Bone Ash leggings and gauntlets a lot. It's kind of funny since I go the exact opposite route with it and just use the chest piece. But yeah, matching that with the Charred Hunter Garb. Alright, so from Jay Bird, Canehurst Helm, Crow Chest, Hunter Arms, and Graveguard Legs. Actually, yeah, the Graveguard Legs actually match pretty well with the Crow Chest, so I would have never noticed. It does make it look pretty full, though. It's full. From a Spooky Scary Skeleton, very spooky, a Spooky Cold Ardeo, Spooky Choir Garb, Executioner Gauntlets, and Leggings optional, but he prefers the Charred Hunter Leggings. Yeah, I mean, obviously, as you can barely see the leggings, I can see why it doesn't matter too much, but just depends on what boots you like. Gotta get the right boots. Nicholas De Paula says Hunter's Hat, Tomb Prospector Garb, Canehurst Gauntlets, and Bone Ash Leggings. I'm actually kind of surprised that this is the first time so far that I've seen the Hunter's Hat. I think it's pretty cool, just because I like the mask that's kind of ninja style up on the nose, but I haven't seen too much of it yet. From Super Blowfish, for my Canehurst Noble character, Black Hood, Night Garb, Night Gloves, and Foreign Trousers. And yeah, actually, I gotta say, I do like the Black Hood over a lot of the other choices you could have. The typical Canehurst choices, it does make it seem a little bit cooler, a little more edgy. From Zoo Q1492, wasn't trying to say your username. Canehurst Helmet, Gascoigne's Garb, Grave Hunter, or Graveguard Manchettes, and White Church Pants. Actually, I think those Graveguard Manchettes look really cool, honestly. It also matches the boots, the red. Nice. From M. Falcone, Yarn Hunter Hat, Black Church Robe, Tomb Prospector Gloves, and Tomb Prospector Trousers. Kenny Kendall, same Blindfold Cap, Tomb Prospector Garb, Gascoigne's Gloves, and Executioner Trousers. And with the first Bone Ash Helm I've seen so far, Simple House Productions with Bone Ash Helm, Tomb Prospector Chest, Gascoigne's Gloves, and Foreign Trousers. Although, saying it might look good, might not. Have you not tried it on yet? Or are you just one of the people who haven't had a chance to play the game? Alright guys, so that wraps up this Fashion-Born edition. The ones I didn't show off were specifically sets where I didn't have the garb yet. Next episode I'll be getting a bit more, and then obviously as I go through the dungeons, the chalice dungeons, I'll be getting even more garb. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this episode as we got a lot done, and I'll see you next time. Later guys. Happy hunting.